Conversation practice.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. We are truly happy you decided to spend your time with us today.
Yes. Honestly, just knowing you were listening right now, it makes this whole conversation feel so calm and personal, doesn't it?
It really does. Now, if this is your very first time here, please feel comfortable. This space is just for you to learn English without any pressure at all.
Exactly. And for our old friends, welcome back. It's always, so nice to learn together again.
You know, on this channel, we focus on daily English that sounds, well, real, natural, and easy to understand.
Right. Not fast English and definitely not perfect English. Just simple English that you can slowly use in your real life.
So, wherever you are right now, just relax, take a deep breath, and let the English flow naturally.
Yes, you don't need to understand everything right away. Just feeling the sound is already a huge step.
You know, James, so many people ask us, how do I even start? It can feel like a very big, scary mountain, can't it?
Oh, absolutely. People think they need 100 books or a perfect teacher before they can even say hello.
But that's the secret, isn't it? You don't start with the mountain. You start with a single, gentle step.
Exactly. So today, in our little podcast chat, let's talk about those first steps, the ones that feel good.
I think the very first step is to listen, just like our friends are doing right now.
Listen before you speak. That's how babies learn, right? They don't use grammar books.
No, they just soak up the sounds, like a sponge in water.
So if you're starting, don't worry about speaking perfectly. Just let the English play in the background while you cook or while you walk.
That's right. And the second step? It's about curiosity.
Curiosity? Tell me more about that, Anna.
Well, look around your room. Do you know the English word for your favorite chair? Or your coffee mug?
Making the world around you English. That makes it feel much more personal.
It does. You don't need to know 1,000 words. Just start with the 10 things you touch every day.
Let's practice that. Look at something near you. Maybe it's a window.
Window. Say it slowly. Feel the word.
Or maybe it's a phone.
Phone. See? You are already learning. You are already starting.
But Anna, what about the fear? The fear of making a mistake.
That is the biggest wall, James. But we have to remember, mistakes are just proof that you are trying.
Mistakes are proof that you are trying. I love that. It makes the fear feel smaller.
Exactly. When you learn a new hobby, like painting or cooking, you don't expect to be a master on day one.
Definitely not. My first cakes were, well, very hard.
But you kept baking. And English is the same. It's a doing thing, not just a studying thing.
So, step 3, I think, should be consistency.
Oh, that sounds like a big word, James. What does it mean for a beginner?
It just means doing a little bit every single day, even if it's just 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Everyone has 5 minutes. Maybe while the tea is brewing?
Yes, 5 minutes of listening, or 5 minutes of repeating a few phrases. It builds a habit.
Habit is much more powerful than hard work. It makes English part of your life, like brushing your teeth.
You know, Anna, I think another great way to start is to find a story.
Oh, a story, like a simple book or a movie?
Yes, something you already know in your own language. If you know the story, your brain doesn't have to work so hard.
That is so clever. The story helps you understand the words without looking at a dictionary.
Exactly. It's about making it fun. If you are having fun, you won't want to stop.
So, let's review our little steps for our friends. 1. Listen gently.
2. Be curious about your world.
3. Do a little bit every day.
And 4. Find a story you love.
See? It's not a mountain anymore. It's just a lovely walk in a park.
A very peaceful walk with us.
Wherever you are in your journey, even if you only know hello, we are so glad you are here.
Truly, you have already done the hardest part. You have begun.
You know, James, once someone has started, they often ask, how do I stop translating in my head?
That is a big one. It's like having a busy little translator working inside your brain all day. It's tiring.
It is very tiring. My advice is always try to connect the feeling directly to the word.
Connecting the feeling to the word. Can you give us an example, Anna?
Of course, instead of thinking of the word happy in your language, just feel the smile on your face and say, I feel happy.
Ah, I see. Don't go through your own language first. Just go straight to the English.
Yes, let's try it with something we can touch. If you touch something cold, don't translate. Just feel the chill and say,
It is cold. It is cold.
exactly. It's about building a bridge between your senses and your new language.
You know, Anna, another thing that helps me is talking to myself. Does that sound a bit silly?
Not at all. I think it's a brilliant way to practice. No one is judging you, and you can take your time.
Right. When I'm making my breakfast, I might say, I am making tea.
I am making tea. It's so simple, but it's so powerful.
And then when I'm looking for my shoes, I say, where are my shoes?
Yes, you're creating an English environment right inside your own home.
But Anna, what if someone is at a very, very basic level? What should they focus on first?
I would say focus on the helper words, small words that do a lot of work.
Helper words like please and thank you?
Yes, and words like this and that and want.
Oh, because with those 3 words, you can survive almost anywhere. I want this, please.
I want this, please. It's a perfect sentence. It's polite and it's clear.
You know, I think sometimes we are too hard on ourselves. We want to be advanced before we are beginners.
That's so true, James. We forget to enjoy the small wins.
A small win? What does that look like?
A small win is understanding one sentence in a song or ordering a coffee without being nervous.
Those are great wins. We should celebrate those, maybe with a little smile or a nice deep breath.
Let's do that together right now. For everyone who is learning, take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. You are doing enough.
You are doing enough. Anna, I also find that writing helps me.
Writing? Like in a journal?
Yes, Just 3 things I did today in very simple English. I drank tea. I saw a bird.
I drank tea. I saw a bird. It's like a little diary of your English life.
Exactly. It makes the language real. It's not just in a book, it's in your day.
You know, James, I think we should talk about listening again, because not all listening is the same.
You mean active versus passive listening?
Yes, sometimes we just let English wash over us, like rain. That's passive.
And active listening is when you really try to catch a specific word.
Right. Try to catch the intonation. Is the voice going up or is it going down?
Like when I ask a question, is it raining? My voice goes up at the end.
Is it raining? Perfect. Feeling the music of the language is just as important as the words.
Just knowing I want this is enough.
It's a simple sentence, but it's powerful. You are communicating your need, even with only 3 words.
Powerful. I like that word. It means having a lot of strength or influence.
Yes, English doesn't need to be complicated to be effective. Just keep it simple and be patient with yourself.
Patient. It means you are staying calm when something takes a long time.
Exactly. Even a small plant needs time to grow. Your English is the same way. Water it with a little practice every day.
We have a lot more tips, but let's stick with the basics for now. Remember, small steps, patience, and celebrating your wins.
You are doing great just by being here, and we are so happy to have you. Enjoy the quiet moment between our sentences. It's your time to absorb.
And enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey. Let's practice a very useful phrase together.
I am ready.
When you don't understand, it's okay to say, "Could you repeat that, please?"
Could you repeat that, please? People are usually very happy to help.
Most people are kind. They will slow down if you just ask.
Now, let's talk about the middle of the journey, when you feel like you aren't improving.
Ah, the plateau, when the excitement of being a beginner starts to fade.
Yes, what do we do then?
We change the view. Instead of looking at how far you have to go, look back at how far you have already come.
Looking back at how far you have come. That is a powerful shift.
Remember the first day when you didn't understand anything? Now you are here, listening to a podcast in English.
That is amazing. It really is. Be proud of your brain. It is doing incredible work.
Words that you love the sound of makes the language feel like a gift.
Not a task, but a gift. I like that.
So, let's share a little more encouragement for the road ahead.
Don't compare your journey to anyone else's.
Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. Everyone has their own pace.
Some days you will feel fast, and some days you will feel slow. Both days are okay.
The important thing is that you keep moving forward.
Let's take a deep breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the air.
Feel the peace. You are learning. You are growing.
You are doing a great job.
We believe in you. Every word you learn is a light.
Ready to finish our chat for today, Anna?
We are almost at the end of our chat today, but before we go, let's talk about the future.
The future. Sometimes thinking about the future makes people feel anxious.
It does. Will I ever be fluent? Will I ever sound like a native? Those are heavy questions.
My advice? Let go of the word fluent. It's such a big, blurry goal.
I agree. Instead, focus on the word connection.
Connection. If you can connect with one person, you have succeeded.
Exactly. English is a bridge to people. It's not a test to pass.
You know, Anna, one last tip for our friends. Think in English in small pieces.
Small pieces? Like just 1 or 2 words at a time?
Yes, when you see a beautiful sunset, just think beautiful.
Beautiful. Don't try to build a long sentence. Just let the word sit in your mind.
When you drink your tea, just think warm.
Warm. That is how you train your brain to live in English.
It takes time. Be patient with yourself.
Patience is the companion of wisdom.
I love that. Anna, what should our friends do after they finish this video?
I think they should do something that makes them feel happy.
Happy? Not more studying?
No, go for a walk, listen to a song, or just sit in silence for a minute.
Because a happy brain is a brain that is ready to learn.
Exactly. You have spent 20 minutes with us today. That's a wonderful gift to yourself.
We are so honored to be a part of your journey.
If you enjoyed this slow chat, please let us know in the comments.
We read every single one. Your words give us so much joy.
They really do. Let's take one last deep breath.
For peace, inhale. Exhale. For confidence, inhale. Exhale. For the future, inhale. Exhale. Perfect.
You are ready. You are starting, and you are doing beautifully.
Before we go, Anna, can you remind them of our favorite phrase?
Of course, small steps lead to great things.
Small steps lead to great things. I believe that with all my heart.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time.
We look forward to seeing you in our next conversation.
Until then, be kind to yourself.
Stay cozy.
And stay curious.
Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
You did so well today.
See you soon.